Hey guys, how y'all doing? Welcome into Faith in Football. My name is Neil and I'll be your host. Today's verse of the day to kick this whole thing off is in Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. And it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not into your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path." I want you to think about that because today's episode is called Addition by Subtraction. And you might be going, there's nothing about subtraction here. It doesn't really say anything about addition. It's about trust. Well, I want you to look at it like this for today, is that when it says trust in the Lord, well, when we go about our day-to-day life, who are we trusting to get us from point A to point B? Who are we trusting in to get us the things that we need or desire? Well, if you're not following what the Lord wants you to do in all your things, in all aspects of life, then you're trusting in yourself. So here's what you should do is you should subtract yourself and add God, add Jesus. You know, it's really cliche, and you see the shirts and you hear people say it all the time, is that y'all need Jesus. Usually it's said kind of off the cuff and joking manner, but it's very true. We all need Jesus. And at some point in your life, you're going to realize that your way isn't working. Now, you could be successful. You could seem like you have everything you want. But if you take a good hard look, how happy are you and the people around you? See, when Jesus walked this earth, he didn't worry about how happy people were around him. He just worried about whether he was doing his Father's will. And he let everybody else kind of worry about themselves. You know, if they were wanting to follow him, they followed him. But he had regulations, rules. There were things that you had to do. You had to give up yourself. You had to give up that selfish mentality. You had to subtract yourself out of your own life and insert Jesus and God's will. So today, as we talk about addition by subtraction, in the fantasy football world, we're going to be talking about how when one player goes down, how does that add to others? And how do we need to look at that? But in our walk with the Lord, we need to look at how much are we trusting him? How much are we leaning on him? And if you're not fully leaning on God, and if you're still trying to do things your own way in your own time, remember, our time is not God's time. It does take patience. It does take strength. And it does take a willingness to step aside and let God take care of your life. The Bible tells us in Gospels that we shouldn't worry about tomorrow. We shouldn't worry about the clothes on our back or what food to eat. That God will provide everything. The same way that he provides for the birds of the air. How much more does he love us? And we're going to be taken care of. We're going to be clothed. We're going to be fed. We're going to be given everything that we need from God. So as you go through your walk today, I want you to remember that the key is trusting in the Lord and realizing his will and his purpose and his direction for your life is much better than the path that you're on. So if you're on the right path, congratulations. I'm happy for you. I know every once in a while I step off more often than I care to admit, but thankfully I have a good, strong church family. And more importantly, I have a very strong spiritual wife to help bring me back. So I hope you have those things. And I hope that if you'd like, down the bottom, subscribe, like, and share. And I would love to have more of a conversation with you. I do answer all of my own text messages or my own comments. Uh, as I've said before, I don't get paid to do this, so I don't have a staff. I am the staff. I am the producer. I am the host. I am the technical director. So, uh, if you have any questions, please down the bottom, leave them in the comment section. And let's get into today's addition by subtraction. But first, we're going to mention all of our sponsors. We're going to mention Zia of Lafayette. You can find them on Duce Road down in Lafayette off of Johnson Street behind the Grand Theater and in front of Red Laurel's Health Club. So go down and check them out. And remember, coming up, August 1st kicks off the Faith in Football promo for Zia of Lafayette. Go down there and mention that Faith in Football sent you and get your free appetizer with your purchase of an entree. Also, Keller's Bakery in Youngsville. It's at 627 Lafayette Street off the Youngsville Highway. You can find them on Facebook. They will take orders through Facebook as well. And if you mention that Faith in Football sent you, you get 2 free mini cupcakes, guys. I'm telling you, these are delicious. Dare I say heavenly. So go down there, check them out. Pick up a dozen donuts while you're down there. Donuts are killer. I love the donuts. I love all. There's not been one thing that I've tried from Kellers that I don't like. So go down there, check them out. Tell them Faith in Football sent you and get you 2 free mini cupcakes. So let's get into today's show. We're going to talk a little news here first. And just in case you guys ever wonder, you might see me looking off camera. I do have a backup source of information right here. So I'm not going all willy-nilly on you guys. Now, I do have a little old school where I'll write things down and actually read off of paper. I know it's shocking and it's weird, but this is what I do. So we're going to talk a little news, big news coming out yesterday, about 10 hours ago, that Dak Prescott, I know I'm loving this already, could miss a few weeks with his shoulder injury. So what are they going to do in Big D for a backup? Well, it's been DiNucci time again, it looks like that, or they're going out on the waiver wire and picking up a veteran backup. There have been rumors that Deshaun Watson could be a valuable or a viable option. I'm sorry. But we will wait and see what goes on with that. And I'm reading the news off of the Sleeper app. That's the app that we use. You'll see it when we use the app for mock drafting. I love the Sleeper app. Last year I was using the Fantasy Football Pros Draft Wizard. I love this app. The Sleeper app. I love the way that it gives you the news. They have breaking news as it's labeled. They have minor news and they have defensive news that I've seen. So the minor news, one of the things is that Mac Jones has surpassed Jason Stidham as on the depth chart in minicamp. Stidham is looking at having might need surgery, but Stidham was never going to be the heir apparent in New England. Mac Jones was drafted to be that guy. Okay, Cam Newton was brought in to be that guy. Now, I do believe that Cam's going to be on a very short leash this year, so look for Mac Jones to step in at some point in time. And yes, I'm drinking a little something new. C4. I found this at Walmart. It's Sour Patch Brothers. It's not bad. I like it. No, I'm not replacing my Bang. I love my Bang. So, um, let's see. Some more news is that Kenyon Drake was put on the non-football injury list. You might remember Kenyon Drake had that killer breakout games when he first came to Arizona via Miami late in the 2019 season. I loved having Kenyon Drake on my squad. He got me to the Super Bowl. But as of late, he has not been that dependable. Um, I thought he was going to carry on in Arizona with what he did in 2019. He did not in 2020. It was a little disappointing. Now he sits with Josh Jacobs. Now, this is one of the first example I'll give you of addition by subtraction, is that if Kenyon Drake continues to deal with injuries, football related or not, if it affects his time on the field, this will be in addition to Josh Jacobs' production. Apparently, Henry Ruggs wants to be a more physical back. This is one of the news bits that they give you, is that they give you a hype category as well. I love this app. I love the way they break stuff down, guys. Can't say too many good things about it. So Kenyon Drake's on the non-football list. Lamar Jackson has tested positive for COVID along with Frank Reich. Now, Frank Reich says he is fully vaccinated and that he is asymptomatic. I have not received any word about Lamar Jackson's level of COVID. I don't know if he's, well, we know that he's tested positive for COVID. We don't know how long he's going to be out. Usually it's 2 weeks, but it's something to keep an eye on. We know that we've seen guys come back before from COVID that really weren't right. I know if you look at Cam Newton up in New England, when he came back from COVID, he really wasn't right, if you saw. So we'll see how this affects Lamar going forward. I don't think it should affect his draft status for your draft, but this is also why I encourage you to draft as close to the kickoff of the season as possible. All right. Davante Adams came out and said that he wants to be he will not sign any deal that does not make him the highest paid wide receiver in the league. So now that Aaron Rodgers is in camp, Randall Cobb has been traded back to Green Bay from the Texans as requested by Rodgers to try to put that whole thing to bed. Now we get the Davante Adams side of it, to where we're going to have to listen to this all season. They have broken off trade talks between the Davante Adams camp and the Green Bay Packers, because he ain't signing without Rodgers. I will guarantee you that. He still's got a chance to be franchised next year. So we'll see how all of that works out. I seriously doubt that anything's going to happen this year contractually with Davante Adams. But like I said last year, I'll say it again this year, the worst thing for the league and the best thing for fantasy football is a pissed off Aaron Rodgers. If you have a pissed off Aaron Rodgers, you have what we got last year, which was an MVP season. It finished him as the QB4 on the season in fantasy. So keep an eye out and expect a lot. More bad news for my favorite team, Dallas Cowboys. Michael Gallup apparently went over a fence trying to catch a ball in camp, and he tweaked his ankle. I'm not exactly sure the severity of this injury. It says he walked off under his own power, but if you're tweaking your ankle as a receiver, not really a good thing. So we've got Amari Cooper dinged up, Michael Gallup dinged up. Dak is going to miss some time. He's got a bum shoulder. He's coming off a severe ankle injury. It's not looking good already. But with them being on Hard Knocks, more storylines, more press, and you know Jerry Jones is loving that. Elijah Moore, rookie wide receiver for the Jets, is practicing with a second team offense. So, again, this is a addition by subtraction. You're subtracting Elijah Moore, was expected to be a breakout rookie with the Jets. So the rest of the receiving core now has an opportunity to step up. Devante Parker is on the PUP list along with 3 other players in Miami. Check that out. Keep an eye on that. This is, again, right now, if you hear any news about anybody being on the PUP list, which is the physically unable to perform list, by rule, if they start the season on the PUP list, they have to miss 6 weeks. So anybody who starts on the PUP list is going to miss 6 weeks. Now you're saying, well, man, this is horrible. I like Davante and this, that, the other. Hold on, wait a minute. Different rules in preseason. Okay. As whenever they are healthy, they can be brought off of the PUP list before the season starts. So this could be a precautionary thing. We're not sure, but anybody keep an eye on the PUP list. Anybody on the PUP list, as long as they are off by the beginning of the season, they should be good to go for your draft. Okay, but this is why we, subscribe to different news outlets. This is why we have apps. This is why we have updates. I highly encourage you to go get one if you don't have it already. And I recommend the Sleeper Fantasy app. Check them out. They're awesome. I love them to death. So we're going to pause here for just a second. Sorry about that, guys. Sinuses are killing me, and the drainage is horrible. I know a little TMI, but telling the truth. So let's dive in and we'll start today's mock draft. So today's mock draft, let me move myself over here. There we go. Alrighty. Get myself situated. So I've drafted from a number of positions, middle of the pack, toward the back half of the draft, toward the top half of the draft. So today, let's go ahead and we'll take let's take the lead off. Okay, let's kick this whole thing off. There we go. And we'll start here. So let's start the draft now. If you get the number 1 overall, and we've been through this before, is if you get this, don't overthink it. Okay. I said before when I took the 2 spot, or I took the 3rd spot, don't overthink it. The top 2 or 3 picks are locked in. Okay. Don't get cute with it. Don't think you want to try something else. This right here is a no-brainer. Taking CMC. If you want to substitute Dalvin Cook in there, go right ahead. Now, the pluses and minus, the subtraction and addition here. When you're looking at this, look, Mike Thomas is is injured. He's going to be missing time. So that adds to Kamara and Troutman. So you see Kamara went number 3, top 6 teams pick a running back. You got a little interruption there with Tyreek Hill being next off the board. And I would even move If you're at the 5th spot and you want to take Tyreek, go right ahead. I got no issue with that, no qualms with that. We see Kelsey off the board at 11. We've already done a mock draft where I took him early. What I would have done in that spot, however, is I would have taken one of the better running backs in that spot because you've already got pretty much a wide receiver in Kelsey, okay? So, second round, you're at the back end, and then you have your next pick immediately after that. And for a lot of people, they don't know what to do here. If you want to go running back, this is a spot where you can do it, okay? So we check this out. We've got Gibson or Dobbins. Look, you've already got the best running back in the league. I said we go wide receiver. You guys know I love me some Keenan Allen, so let's hit up Keenan Allen. And let's extend this a little bit. There's nobody really here that I see this early in the 3rd round that I want to take. Now, as far as running back goes, the talent pool here falls off drastically after Antonio Gibson, okay? David Montgomery is a very good pick, but I'm going to see if he can fall a little bit to me. I'm not really going to be surprised if he doesn't, but I'm going to go ahead and take Antonio Gibson. And we see Dobbins, Swift, Sanders as the running backs off the board so far. Jacobs, Carson. There goes David Montgomery to team 9. And we see 3 quarterbacks off the board, rounds 3 and 4. Now, Allen is pretty much going to be your second one off the board. Jackson, I said just test positive for COVID. That's something to keep an eye on. Why anyone would take Michael Thomas in the 3rd? Look, he should fall in your home league, so don't worry about that. This hasn't, apparently, the software hasn't corrected itself. Slide down here a little bit. So, this is the time where I do tell you that you have to reach for those players that you want because you have such a long wait. You see all the talent that you just missed out on. Waller, Kittle. Let's see. Who else did we miss out on here? Kyle Pitts. All those the top end tight ends, which means that if you miss out on these guys, I highly recommend that you wait. Okay. So let's see what we've got for running back. Now, Hunt, Gaskins, Robinson, they're fine. Okay. Robinson, I don't know what they're going to do with Etienne, but I want to stay away from him this year. However, I know I'm going to reach here, but Javonte Williams at running back for Denver, definitely worth the pick in this round. Okay. And let's see. There's Wilson, Prescott, Herbert, Rodgers. Let's see, with 4 quarterbacks already gone in a 12-team league, that means there are 8 guys that could possibly draft a quarterback, but I have a feeling that they're not all going to go in these rounds. So let's check this out. A guy I'm really high on, and yes, I might be reaching again, but Jamar Chase. And we see a lot of wide receivers going off board right now. Now, Brandon Ayuk and Kenny Galladay going back to back. I really don't like this team right here in Team 12 because all they have is basically wide receivers. They have Eckler, and that's it. Okay. So we see Herbert went off the board. Now, y'all know, if you watched before, Herbert is my boy. I'm loving me some Herbert this year. But as I said before, the best thing for fantasy is they pissed off Aaron Rodgers, and I can't imagine Rodgers more pissed off than he is currently. So I will go ahead and take Aaron Rodgers here in the 6th. Definitely a good value here in the 6th. This is pretty much where you should go, if not in the 5th. Because here's the thing, is that when you're putting your team together, if you're able to go traditionally running back, wide receiver, that's fine. If you're in it, that's the way your draft falls to you. Great. I've always told you guys, be flexible with your plan. Don't stick strictly to it because things are going to change. Okay. So when you're doing your draft, if you're able to do that in the 5th round, you can go out and get that quarterback that you want. We see all the guys that went in the 5th and even a little bit before that. Back up here real quick. We see Allen going in the 3rd. Usually Josh Allen's probably going to go in the 4th in your home league. Lamar might go before him, depends on a person's preference. Kyler Murray, for whatever reason, he's not getting talked about enough. So a lot of people might forget him unless they're a Cardinals fan. Pardon me. So let's see what else we have to pick from here. Now, there's really nobody else in the tight end that I like. Hawkinson was already taken. Now, what I do like is I do like Cortland Sutton. The only thing I don't like is his quarterback play. So I already have Jamar Chase. T. Higgins would have been a nice addition here. And I also like the Mike Davis pick here by Team 10. Oh, I do like DJ. DJ in the 5th. And here's the thing that you have to do is that when you guys are in your draft, there's going to be a lot of talking, a lot of trash talking. Don't let it throw you guys. And when somebody makes a pick of a player that you are really targeting heavily, don't let them know. Don't let them know that they just messed you up and you're going on tilt. Okay. So let's see here. Wide receiver. I really don't like anybody in the top part of this, but if we go down, Corey Davis and Curtis Samuel. Now, Curtis Samuel is on the injury list, so that's going to add to, he's on the PUP list. That's going to add to Terry McLaurin, okay? So if you're fortunate enough to go ahead and take McLaurin earlier, great. Corey Davis with the Jets, with Elijah Moore practicing with the seconds. This is one of those guys who benefits greatly from not having to battle a rookie for touches, okay? Corey Davis should be a very good pick. So with that said, I'm going to check out some running backs. Moss and Singletary, I don't like either one of those guys. But who I do like, and I'm rising, who's rising heavily, is Damien Harris from New England. And I know traditionally you don't want a New England running back because they're very unreliable. But with the absence of Brady, now the presence of Cam Newton and him being on a short leash, if Mac Jones does step up and take over that role, Damien Harris is going to be the guy that they're going to lean on heavily, okay? They really don't have anybody else worth mentioning. Okay. Zach Moss, Devin Singletary. This is not a run first team in Buffalo. It is a pass first. And the RB1 is basically Josh Allen. Okay. Trey Sermon. I like Sermon. I like the ability, but there's a lot of competition in that backfield. So, all those glowing things that I said about Corey Davis, let's go ahead and take Corey Davis, see how things shake out here. And we see Tannehill going here in the 9th. So, and this is one of those things I want you guys to remember is that you, whenever you're doing these mock drafts, play around with your teams, but I also want you to be cognizant of the fact that if you make a pick and then like I just did, I picked Corey Davis. I might have been able to wait on him. I might have been able to, pick someone else like Mike Williams, but I got Keenan Allen. I'm not doubling up on wide receivers. I know I've done it before. I really don't like doing it. If you want to pass on Keenan Allen and you want to take a risk on Mike Williams, that's fine. Williams has had injury concerns in the past. That's what scares a lot of people off. But getting him this late is basically calling your shot and taking a flyer on a guy who has wide receiver 1 upside. Okay. But like I said, I took Corey Davis. Looking back at everything that fell, I would have liked to have taken Tannehill in the 9th. Just as my backup. So play him situationally and on bye weeks. Stafford is another one that I'm really high on. Trying to see if there's anybody else that I really like. I like Mike Williams, Tannehill, and Stafford, and that's about it. So when you're gauging yourself, when you're doing these mock drafts, look at who you're, not necessarily who you're picking, but who you're passing up, okay? And who doesn't fall to you. Look at the player that you just picked. Would you have rather had anybody else in this spot? I personally, like I just said, I would have much rather have had Tannehill. And let's see, we got 8 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and take a flyer on Darnell Mooney, wide receiver out of Chicago. I've heard a lot of good things about him, and seen last year, this guy got overthrown bad by Trubisky. He could be a really good breakout candidate. Allen Robinson is the only other game in town. So this might be a guy who is a dark horse. He's a breakout candidate. And picking this late in the draft, in the double-digit rounds, you're really just taking shots, because if you look at your roster, I got Rodgers, McCaffrey, Gibson, Allen, and then Jamar Chase, Javonte Williams, Cortland Sutton, Damon Harris, Corey Davis, and Darnell Mooney. So I've got 2 running backs outside of my starters. On my bench, I've got a couple of wide receivers sitting there. So my tight end, I'll fill in a little bit. Check out the quarterbacks: Justin Fields, Matt Ryan, Baker Mayfield, and you'll see if you look at your board, pretty much everybody's got their quarterback already. So they're just picking backups right now. I'm good with letting things slide. Let's see here. Now, I've got Gibson, so I'm going to be targeting McKissick next up. And I'll go ahead and I'll take a shot on Mecole Hardman. Now, like I said, I've said it before in other drafts. I like Mecole Hardman. Yeah, everybody's just basically picking backup quarterbacks right now. So now what I will say is that in this spot, I'm not going to do it in the 12th, but I will do it in the 13th, and that is pick a defense. You already see Tampa Bay going off the board. They are not necessarily the number one defense in my mind. You guys know who I'm looking at. Slow down here. So, who do I want to take a flyer on right now? And this is basically all you're doing in this spot. I said before I was targeting McKissick. I'll go ahead and target him now and knock him out. Defense. I'm going to go ahead and take my defense now. And guys, I'm not doing kickers. If you've noticed, we're not doing kickers in my league of record for the season. They're really erratic. You'll have one that'll do, give you 20 points, and then the next week give you 2. So it's really hard to gauge that. Now, the Chuba Hubbard pick, as the McCaffrey owner, I really like that pick. I took McKissick because I have Antonio Gibson. You need to be careful on how many handcuffs. And when I say handcuffs, what I mean is the guy who's directly behind that person that is going to take up carries. If you're going to take a handcuff, let it be someone like J.D. McKissick, who is going to have value with or without the main part of that offense, okay? Now, if we look at running back, let's see, the other handcuff that would have been here, and I believe he already got taken, was Latavius Murray from New Orleans. Yeah, he got taken down here. So, let's see. Let's check out wide receiver. Let's see. I like Kadarius Toney. I don't know how much he's going to be. Let's see. Oh, I do need a tight end, however. Now, here's a very interesting pick. This late in the draft, with as many guys that are gone that have flown out of here, Jared Cook with the Chargers now. Very interesting pick. Does he have enough gas? He's got a younger quarterback that does like to throw the ball. I think that Cook's still got a little something in him. A lot of people are liking Blake Jarwin from Dallas. You guys know I'm not picking him. And Cole Kmet out of Chicago has been a darling for a lot of people late in the drafts. There's not a whole lot of variance once you get past the top guys in this lineup. Let's see who I can get as my backup quarterback right now. So, you guys know I like Zach Wilson, but you know what I'll do? Just to shake things up a bit, let's go down here and take locked and loaded Big Ben. I know I got the grandpa version of quarterbacks right now. So you see a bunch of defenses gone here in the last round. No big surprise there. Tevin Coleman, I don't even know why. I know it's the last pick of the draft, but Kenneth Gainwell out of Philly. you still got Miles Sanders there. So I don't know if that's just a handcuff for them or what that is. I would have liked to have snagged Gerald Everett as my tight end, but I think that my Washington football team, and yes, it pains me to say that, is going to be more valuable than Everett will in Seattle. I like the matchup in Seattle. I also like Jonnu Smith. Zach Ertz is just an injury waiting to happen. Austin Hooper in Cleveland. Okay. Evan Ingram, look, he flashed, he had a breakout, and he disappeared after that. So that is our addition by subtraction mock draft session for today. If you have any questions, check out the draft, see how we did, see where you would have done differently. If you have any questions or comments, please down below, subscribe, like, share, and leave your comment for me. I would love to have your questions to answer on next week's episode, Tuesday. Next time you see me, I will be a year older. Birthday is on Sunday, so you guys have a blessed week. Have a blessed weekend. And we will see you here next time on Faith and Football. God bless. Take it easy, guys.